And that's a big problem because, again, it continues to highlight the cognitive dissonance that the Ravens are not trying to acknowledge right now when it comes to their philosophy. They're still stuck in this mindset that, oh, we just got to run the ball and play defense. That is a very outdated mindset, whether y'all want to accept that or not. This is a new day and age in the NFL. You're not bringing back the 2000s Ravens. I don't know why Eric DeCosta in this front office is so damn hard-headed. Like, I don't know why they insist on being so stupid. And I don't know why the fans insist on being so stupid. You are not bringing back the 2000s Ravens defense. Ray Lewis is the best linebacker of all time. Nobody's coming in here and filling those shoes, dog. Not even Roquan Smith. Nobody's filling those shoes. Ed Reed is the greatest safety of all time. Nobody's coming in here and filling those shoes. They're never walking through that door again. It's not happening. You're not stumbling. You're not gonna just. It's not happening. The probability of that ever happening again is zero. It's not happening. I don't know why Ravens fans insist, in this front office, I don't know why they insist on sticking to this idea that, yeah, let's keep doubling down on a method that hasn't worked in over a decade. It's been outdated. Not only is it outdated because, again, the probability of you getting those type of Hall of Fame players on the same team again is so low, but also simply because of the fact that the referees throw flags out for anything. Y'all are taking things, you guys aren't even looking at things in the proper context. You could get a flag for sneezing too hard at this point. Referees are throwing flags out for everything. You think that they would allow any defense to play with the same level of intensity that the 2000s Ravens defense played? They will never allow that again. Because, again, like I said, they throw flags for everything, but also because, if we're being honest, from a business perspective, and I don't think it's just the referees who don't want to see these defenses be elite. Also, the owners and the fans themselves don't want to see these defenses be elite. Nobody wants to watch a game where the final score is 6-3. Nobody want to watch a game where the final score is 3-0. Nobody wants to watch a game where the final score is 9-6. Nobody wants to watch those games. That game that we watched a few months ago during the playoffs in the AFC champ, well, not the AFC, in the divisional round between the Bills and the Chiefs, that game was one of the best games we've seen in years. That game, by many people, was considered a classic. And do you know why it was considered a classic? Do you know why so many people were going so crazy for that game? They were going crazy for that game for the simple fact that that game was just a very impressive offensive showing. It was a terrible defensive game. That was not a good game defensively for either team, especially for the Bills. The Bills, at least the Chiefs, they've never had a very good defense in the Patrick Mahomes era. The Bills had the number 2 ranked defense last year, and they still allowed Patrick Mahomes to go out there, drop 42 points on them, including getting a touchdown with 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And then they allowed Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to go out there in overtime and score and get and win the game. You got Buffalo fans that are so butthurt that they demanded that the rules for overtime be changed. When in reality, nobody wants to call out the fact that, hey, their defense wasn't good enough. But that speaks to a bigger point. In this day and age, nobody's expecting any of these defenses to hold back elite offenses. Even the good defenses. Again, the Bills last season had the number 2 ranked defense, and they still couldn't stop an elite offense. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Because when it came down to it, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and combined with Patrick Mahomes were better than everybody else. And the Ravens, whether they want to accept that or not, you have to adjust to a new reality. But they're trying their best not to. They're still trying to stick to this idea that if they keep trying hard enough, they'll bring back the 2000s Ravens defense. listen, in the past like 23 or 24 games, this defense has given up like almost 7,000 passing yards. That's the most by any other NFL team in the past like year and a half, 2 years. The 2000 Ravens defense is never coming back. And you adding Roquan Smith ain't gonna make that big of a difference either when it comes to the impact that this defense will have on winning games. All you need in today's NFL is an overpowered offense, loaded with weapons, and combine that with the defense that's just good enough to make plays. You already have playmakers on, regardless of my critiques of this defense, you already have playmakers on this defense. You need to get new coaches, but they don't want to do that. You already have the playmakers on defense. You just need to get new coaches and to get more studs on offense. It blows my mind because, again, when they blow another lead, nobody's going to look and say, oh, they wasted all these picks on defense. No, what are they going to do? They're going to say, look, they're going to say, oh, Lamar and this offense should have done better. But nobody's going to talk about the fact that, listen, you traded 2 picks. As much as Eric DeCosta loves hoarding all these unnecessary picks that end up being a waste because he's not good at drafting, you gave away 2 picks for a guy who's supposed to be a superstar or supposed to be a borderline star, who once he came to your team, you guys stifled him. Nobody's going to say that. If that ends up being the case, nobody's going to say that. Again, we've had multiple blown leads this year. And people might say, oh, well, the offense didn't do this and they didn't do that. Okay, but guess what? The offense doesn't have as much resources invested in it as the defense. And again, y'all are so obsessed with bringing back the 2000s Ravens defense. So guess what? If you go up 17 points against the Giants, even if the offense struggles the rest of the game, you need to close that out if y'all want to be the 2000s Ravens defense. The 2000 Ravens defense would never blow a 17-point lead to the Bills, a 17-point lead to the Giants, a 21-point lead to the Dolphins. The 2000 Ravens defense would never blow those leads. And the 2000 Ravens defense had freaking Trent Dilfer as their quarterback. And they still, if they got up that much, they would have never blown those leads. It could have been the first quarter. That 2000s Ravens defense would have shut the entire game down for the next 3 quarters.